Good afternoon, everybody. PC Outcast here, back with more ambition, and kind of a bit of a mixed bag, I guess. We got two pieces of outrageous gossip, some cheap gossip, some shocking gossip. We gained a lot of credibility. Of course, we already had a lot, and we gained a lot of peril, but we also lost some. So our peril is up, which is not great, but we should be able to deal with that slowly over time. Especially if we can provide some stuff to Pierre that'll maybe reduce it. The debates in the Estates General have only been growing in intensity. Every representative from every estate originally arrived with a long list of the complaints collected from the people of their respective bailage. However, how they pursue those complaints is entirely up to them. This has led to a stark difference between the rhetoric of the nobility in the Second Estate and that of the representatives of the commoners in the Third Estate. While the Second Estate preaches civility, unity, and staying the course, the Third Estate brings only reports of grievances and discord. This was further reinforced when representative from the Third Estate recently stood up to read aloud the reports of his people surrounding the Gebel, a deeply unpopular tax on salt, enforced by oftentimes violent collectors. He spoke of these salt tax collectors as those bloodsuckers of the nation who quaff the tears of the unfortunate from their goblets of gold. Damn, that's some good rhetoric right there. This particularly flowery turn of phrase has been seen to perfectly encapsulate the rancor felt from the common people, and has circulated far and wide beyond the halls of the Estates General. Newspapers started reprinting the quote almost immediately. This has been galvanizing for both the revolutionaries trying to help the common man and the wealthy merchants of the bourgeoisie, who have also been deeply affected by these taxes. Revolution and bourgeoisie gain some power, and life goes on. Okay, so let's take a look. Wow, we've managed to get the crown power up to 3. Revolution's gone back up to 1 from 0. Church has lost a lot of power. Military has gained a little bit. Bourgeoisie still has quite a bit of power. And they are aligned. Oh, actually, the church and the military are leaning towards the crown. I didn't really notice this until recently. That's interesting. I need to actually push the bourgeoisie towards the crown, because they're actually quite powerful. Interesting. Well, I got lots of revolution gossip I can do all kinds of things with. So let's see where we stand. Oh god, really? Oh yeah, I just have to basically rest for tomorrow's shenanigans. Okay. Well, we'll do that then. We'll end up with so much gossip that it's going to take us days to deal with it all. But that is perfectly acceptable. I better try and steer clear of peril at this party. Okay. Pardon me, got a frog in my throat today. I did just wear this, right? It's gonna hurt its novelty, but I don't actually have anything else that the revolution likes. All right, probably not gonna do the greatest for me, but outfit has altered credibility. Okay.
Huh.
Yes. Like that. Reduce my peril a little bit. It's only 3 points, but it's better than nothing. Antoine, good old Antoine. Some cheap gossip there. Both revolution based. Cheap gossip. Really? Just cheap gossip and stuff? Okay, well let's... Oh. Peril. Although, credibility is pretty low, so let's deal with Antoine. Stroll about the party, taking in the atmosphere. It's boisterous, lively, and bohemian. On the other side of the room, you spot that intense young man from before. In fact, he's looking especially tense in his conversation with another guest. They've raised their voices and have already attracted a crowd. No, you don't understand. How can you be so caught up in uncivility and due process when our own people are suffering this very instant? Oh, my dear Antoine, the second we lose order, everything breaks down. The man replies, as if he were talking to a child. If we make chaos correctly in the General Assembly, we can convince the king that it's in everyone's best interests to adopt a constitutional monarchy. It worked in England, and it will work here. You really think you can just vote our problems away? If you play by the nobility's rules, you'll only get an order that they want. The name of our the name of our governance will change, but nothing will improve for anyone. Oh boy. What you want is simply not how things are done in a civilized country. Oh, sorry. Wrong guy. What you want is simply not how things are done in a civilized country. I am a lawyer with a wealth of experience. I know what I'm talking about. As far as I can tell, you're what? A half-successful playwright? What do you know? I know that no one makes revolutions by half measures. This guy's great. Tut now, boys. Let's not let our tempers turn us against ourselves, Antoine. Let's step away for a moment. Still in the throes of bubbling anger, Antoine shoots you a vicious glare.
Oh.
Slowly his face softens and he sighs. If it pleases you, then yes, I will walk with you. Shoots one last dagger-like glare at his opponent. This isn't over. It's not over at all. Oh, love it. The crowd murmurs in approval, appreciative of your ability to restore some calm to the situation. You lost a little peril. Oh, nice. Slowly the crowd disperses, leaving the two of you alone together. Thank you for your help. I was very close to losing my temper. Close? Antoine, you're so much more dedicated than the others. Why is that? He pauses, considering his answer carefully and quickly while he examines your expression. I have less to lose than they do. They deny the truth of what needs to be done because most of them are still in positions of wealth, government, or cultural power. Sneers at the now distant crowd. They want liberty and equality as long as they get to keep all the things that make them comfortable and secure. I have no such obstacles. I am surprised that you're asking me at all. Most just write me off as a zealot. It's a purposeful delusion to salve their guilty consciences. He shrugs before he smiles to you. I like that you're willing to be braver than that. Good. He stops, frowns, shakes his head as if to clear it, but frowns again. I simply can't stand it. How do they all just choose positivity? Well, choosing means being uncertain. They'd rather keep what they have. I know you're right, but I'll be damned if I ever stop hating it. These are the very people who have the ability to make the greatest changes. Instead, they're content to beg for table scraps from the powerful and call it progress. Oh, wow. Faint for me, Antoine. How to prioritize one's own comfort like this? It's so selfish. Are we no better than beasts? He's quite the actor. Two of you chat together for a little while longer, isolated from the crowd. He smiles intently and says, "Wait just a moment. I have something for you." Pulls a clean white handkerchief from his pocket and hands it to you. His name and address have been embroidered into it in red thread. Nice.
Oh-ho!
You should write me soon. It would please me to meet you alone, away from all these half-hearted types. He whispers, gesturing dismissively at some of the other guests. Well, 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 we can now rendezvous with Antoine. Real question is, can we somehow turn him towards the crown? I mean, or at least dull his influence? I don't know. We'll see. With that, he turns and leaves, disappearing almost instantly into the crowd. Alone, you look down at the handkerchief in your hand. Uncompromising ideologues like him only get more dangerous with time. I don't know. We'll see. It is rare to find a man that burns with such passion. Swept up in a heady rush of emotion, you float about the party, searching for your next engagement. I don't know if it's possible to do it, but I'm gonna try. Okay, we could get more good gossip there. Some outrageous crown gossip. A man is trying to convince Pierre to do something he absolutely cannot. Alright. Outrageous crown gossip? Hit me with it. You stumble across something strange. Not only do you see Pierre at this party, looks like he's actually invited. Really? However, instead of his normal routine of stealing wine and stuffing hors d'oeuvres into his coat, he's engaged in a serious conversation with a young revolutionary. Royal censors controlled newspapers like yours for years, dictating what they couldn't say. All I'm asking you to do is to turn their own tools against them. We can pay you to publish your own stories, sympathetic to the people's cause. I must refuse, monsieur. Pierre replies flatly. Royal censors were the enemy of truth when the crown used them, and I won't bow to another such order again, no matter who holds their reins. Oh, and not asking you to devote all of your pages to the stories we create, just a few. This isn't anything you've done before. It isn't anything you've done before? Is that what they say of me now? Pierre growls, clutching his snuff box and tight fist. That I'm a liar? If I was a liar for pay, I wouldn't be out in the street, enduring slings and arrows just to find a story. If I was a liar, I would be comfortable in my office dreaming up new fabrications. In fact, I'd probably be wealthier too, sipping fine brandy every night, instead of the gutter swill I content myself with. I'd clothe myself in finery instead of repairing the same rat-eaten rags. Perhaps such trappings would even make me seem respectable in all your eyes, eh? No man worth his salt is without sin. I have stolen, I've skulked in the dark, and I've swum deeper in the sea of mankind's vulgarity than the worst scoundrels imaginable. But my paper has never lied. Listen here. You know that we can pay handsomely. You also know that our cause is just. Is one newspaper editor's ability to sleep easily at night truly too great a price to pay for the good we can bring to the common people's lives? Are you really so important that your reputation is worth more than their freedom? Pierre falls silent, furrowing his brow. Ooh, I don't want to take on this peril, but I kind of want to. I don't want to tell him that, the ends justify the means. That's ridiculous. We're taking on peril. If your cause is as just as you say, then it has no need of lies. I think we're done here. At this, the revolutionary steps forward, standing dangerously close to you and Pierre. You really think you can dismiss us so easily? Over some hopped-up sense of honor? People like you two, so full of full concern, are the reason the ancient regime stays in power. Ouch. Oof. Cursing under his breath, he storms away from the two of you. Oh, merci beaucoup, Yvette. It's nice to have allies for once. Also, I would think that man would be smart enough to stand further away from me, especially after I'd confessed to a long history of theft. Pierre says with a wide grin before tossing you a hefty pouch of stolen coins. You pickpocketed him? Oh my god, dude. My god, Pierre, are you sure you want to give me this?
Huh.
Oh, I'm sure. I swore to myself that I'd never accept that man's money. The moment he presumed to call me a liar, consider it payment for the service you've rendered to me. With that, Pierre gives you an overly formal bow before he leaves, and you're left to your own devices. Well, that's too bad. We didn't end up with the gossip, but that was pretty good. Oof, yeah, it took a 15-point hit because we wore it back to back. Ouch. And all I got was some cheap gossip. And it did improve things with Antoine a bit. And my peril's kind of sucky. And we made a little bit of money. Okay. Not quite as valuable as I would have liked. While getting ready for the day, you notice that Camille has left a letter on your nightstand. The wax seal shines red like fresh blood. You break the seal with a deft slice from your letter opener. You can immediately tell that the handwriting is Antoine's. He writes quickly enough that you can find small spatters of ink at the top of his compressed, precise letters. Cher Yvette, I've grown dissatisfied with the ceaseless inaction of my peers, and have decided to do something myself. I would like you to join me should you find yourself inclined in the cause of liberty. Letter goes on to describe a location where you could meet him. Direct action is now available to visit in the Paris map. Fear not, I'm certain that you will enjoy this as much as the royalists will hate it. Gloire pas être patriotic? I don't know what that means. You check his directions against your map. If you head out now, it might be possible to meet up with him. Yes, but okay, so we have a meeting with Alex. Yeah, no. This is on the 3rd. Yeah, we're gonna have to say no to that. We already have one on the 4th. Sorry. Honorad would like to meet up with us on the 30th. I don't know what day it is today. I wish you could see where exactly it is today. I think we... Oh, there it is. And unfortunately, if it's in here, you can't see. So we are on the 27th. We got a party on the 29th. I'm sorry, Honorad. We are going to have to decline. Antoine, meet up with Antoine. I think we're going to do this. Oh. Eh. Okay. I think we're going to do... We're going to meet up with Antoine first and see if we can steer him rather than do the direct action thing. I don't know about that. That sounds really dangerous. I don't know if we're able to steer him towards the crown. We'll see what happens here. Alex on the 2nd. And now this I'm gonna also have to decline. Sorry, Alex. Okay, I can go sell some stuff and then rest up and then go to the next party. And then what is this? That's meeting up with Antoine. And then sell some stuff and then meet up with him and then yeah, something like that. Eesh. Okay, we definitely need to sell some and peddle some of our things. Ah, what do you want? Stories concerning the crown. Sure. Unfortunately, I don't think I actually have any. I have all revolution stuff. Okay, first of all, we are going to, let's see how fresh all the stuff is. Okay, some of it's definitely fresher than others. Let's sell that. And peddle this. Decrease the power of the revolution. And then sell that. We'll have to deal with this another day. Good morning, madame. It's time for money. There you go. Things are going fine, so there you go. You can have it. Okay, let's take a look at what happened with... Okay, even though we reduced it greatly, it's still at 1. Yeah. Alright, and we've got a bourgeoisie party coming up, so let's rest up for that. Go to the party. We're gonna want to wear Honorod's gift. Outfit is altered your credibility. We'll give you some cash to reduce our peril a little bit. 2 turns only. That's too bad. Cheap gossip. So the bourgeoisie is currently aligned with the revolution, so we want to get some gossip to move them in the other direction. Let's do this. We have a chance of getting shocking gossip. You find yourself chatting with an interesting pair of women. They both manage their own personal fortunes and are trying to invest in businesses all across the city to grow their wealth. You rarely get a chance to meet women like this, even in Paris, which is what initially drew you into the conversation. Apparently all this business causes them no shortage of stress. When people are stressed, they tend to say exactly what's on their mind, which means it's been exceedingly easy to find new gossip. You've gained some cheap gossip. Oh, how are things going with that new tea importer you've been looking to invest in? Her companion says, well, it was going to be easy, but of course something had to come up and to get into the way of everything. Turns to you, looks embarrassed. Oh, I'm sorry. This is all just business. I don't want to bore you with a mountain of trivial details. You grit your teeth into the shape of a smile. That mountain of trivial details is exactly what you need. Please, we can discuss something more germane. Easy credibility challenge. Oh, please, keep going. I'm always willing to learn. Oh, really? She asks, genuinely trying to determine if you're just humoring her. Well, if that's the case, then let's forge onward, the other woman chimes in, brimming with excitement. You've gained a little credibility. They start explaining the latest issues going on amongst the bourgeoisie. As far as you can tell, every functioning business in Paris is connected in some way or another. If one of them starts running into issues, it ripples out to everyone else. Sometimes you feel like you've never left your village. Everyone is always bumping into each other and being rebuked for inconveniencing people they've barely even given a thought to. Everyone's connected, so they all feel like they're allowed to judge you for your decisions. You chime in with a few observations of your own, but otherwise let them talk while you try to take in as much as possible. Gossip is easy when it's people you know. When you don't, it's a difficult task just to keep all the details straight. You've gained some shocking gossip. You thank them for their time and make a graceful exit. As you leave, they regard you with a wary fascination. They're so unused to outsiders taking any interest at all that they can't understand why anyone would care about the details of their concerns. Why would I? We could improve things with Honorod. We could look to get a little bit of money and some cheap gossip, or money, and some more cheap gossip. I'm not actually entirely sure. When I peddle influence on the minor factions, I think I can only increase their... Can I only increase their strength, or can I move them towards one or the other? I can't remember now. Anyway, I can only get cheap gossip or money. I guess more cheap gossip. Circling the party, you see an interesting group of people. The conversation is flying between them quickly and easily. The perfect place to obtain some gossip.
Huh.
However, just as you start to approach them, you get stopped by a woman you've never seen before. A moment of your time, if you please, she says in a tone of voice that suggests you don't actually have a choice. Madame Dico, I'm a little curious as to how you fit in with all of this. She continues, gesturing discreetly to the party of trendy and moneyed individuals all around you. You maintain a diplomatically neutral facial expression and take a deep sip of your wine. Here it comes, the lecture. The Bourgeoisie is a unique group, as we're the only one where only ones where one has to maintain their status once they achieve it. The aristocracy are born into their titles and will keep them no matter how poor they become or how ineffectively they wield their powers. Members of the military are considered veterans for life. We're not like them. Every single day is a struggle to maintain our status. There can be no rest for us because everything we do matters.
Huh.
Everyone here deserves to be here. Why do you? Ah, my dear stupid woman. You must understand, if I don't seem like I belong, it's because I'm just getting started. Oh, really?
Ah.
I must admit that's quite good. I look forward to seeing your results, the results of your efforts. Nice. She steps aside like a sentry at a guardhouse and you walk away. You try not to dwell on the baffling audacity of what just transpired. You manage to reach your intended group right before they split up. Introduce yourself quickly and keep the conversation flowing just long enough to get some interesting gossip. Soon they disperse and you find yourself cursing the woman who sought to test your patience. Who do you think she is? Of course you belong here. You belong wherever you can manage to get in, otherwise you wouldn't be there. You sigh and rub your temples to prevent an oncoming headache. Once it subsides, you check to see if there's anything else you can do at this party. Which would be precisely nothing. Okay, we got some gossip. Reduced our peril by a little bit, increased our credibility, which is impossible, and lost some money. All in all, not quite as potent as I was hoping, but we will go and do some selling. Gotta keep that money rolling. Shocking bourgeois gossip. So, yeah, we can increase the power of the bourgeoisie. We can't move it towards the crown. So increasing its power is not a good idea. Should probably deal with this stuff too. Sell. Oh, that one. Sell. That one. This stuff I'll just hang on to, I guess. Pedal influence. Decrease the power of the revolution slightly. Sure. And we're not going to push our luck on any of the other ones. 10% chance of people finding out is already too much. Alright, I need to wear something that the revolution will like. Unfortunately, you can feel the exhaustion setting in. Ooh, this is your first time visiting Le Grand Danseur du Roi. And the energy is already frantic. While the stage performers are still getting ready, various jugglers, comedians, and animal handlers are working the aisles, building the energy of the audience. Now available as a rendezvous location. Antoine, tumultuous as ever, storms over to you shortly after you arrive. So, you've made it. Shall we? You look ravishing, by the way, he says, quietly but firmly before walking ahead of you. You have gained a staggering amount of favor with Antoine. He looks around, and you're not really certain if he's examining the location or looking for threats.
Ooh.
Ah, how I love Le Grand Danseuse Hors de Roy. He laughs as a group of dancers take to the stage. Don't let the name fool you. This place is a raw expression of the people's desire. In some ways, theater is more true than reality itself. The show is comical, stirring, shocking, and the two of you are on your feet before anyone else to yell for an encore. The lights of the stage reflect in Antoine's eyes like a field of stars, and for a moment, he seems more dazzling than life itself. A few hours later, you realize that it's starting to get late and the two of you depart together. Looking at Antoine, you feel like the day went quite well. He is crazy. Crazy, dude. Alright, and on that, we will wrap this episode up. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. I think we need to basically sleep. Yes, I think that's our next goal. A big sleep day. Take care. We'll see you next time.